Great morning, business owners and managers, and welcome to another awesome episode of CX in the Morning, Customer Experience in the Morning. I am your gracious host, Mr. Wes Walters, and on every single CX in the Morning, I bless you with customer service tips, customer experience tricks, and I leave you with gems. And if you've been watching long enough by gems, you know what I mean. I mean actionable takeaways that you can implement at the speed of now. Immediately after this broadcast, you'll be able to take what you've learned and apply it and share it with your team, making your business and your team better. And who doesn't want to be better? Happy Wednesday, everybody. How's everybody doing? How has everyone been, first of all? Has everybody been all right? The check-in before the lesson. How has everyone's week been? One has been great? Excellent, excellent. Well, today, my friend, we have an awesome special guest that needs no introduction. I think if I try or attempt to introduce this brother, it would not serve enough justice. So I'm going to bring him on right now. This brother, Mr. Marquel Russell, is the co-founder of Client Attraction University, CAU. If you have been living under a rock and never heard of CAU, he's going to tell you a little bit about what CAU is and about who he is and what he believes in. Mr. Marquel, can you hear me, brother?
I can, bro. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. How are you?
I am excellent, bro. Is it too loud? It's probably loud in my background.
Nah, it's perfect, man. It sounds great.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, life is good, man. I can't complain at all, man.
Excellent. So tell the viewers a little bit about who you are. Give us the short version about your journey and what got you to where you are right now.
So, Mark, first of all, thank you for having me on, bro. I appreciate it. I'm honored and grateful to be here. So, I'm Marquel Russell. Many refer to me as the King of Client Attraction. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Client Attraction University. We basically help client-based businesses, coaches, consultants, and some service providers attract more clients for their business so they can spend more time serving their clients and less time working on their business. Figuring out where the next client's going to come from. And then ultimately, so they can get off the revenue roller coaster and have more freedom. But that's the business. But in the short, I'm a guy dropped out of high school in 10th grade, got a 9th grade education, started going back and forth to jail, selling drugs, all the different type of stuff, and was just blessed to be introduced to mentors later on in my life. They kind of exposed me to a different world. And fast forward, developed my entrepreneurial gift. And now we've helped our clients do over $500 million in revenue.
You said 500 million?
Yep. $500 million.
$500 million. Billy.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So real quick, before we even go there, what created, because I know you touched on, a crooked path at the beginning. What created the renaissance in Marquel? What made you say, hey, this is a dead end if I continue in this trajectory? What made you change? What was the renaissance period for you?
So I think the biggest thing for me is it was just exposure, man. Right? I think there's nothing more powerful than exposure. So I was just introduced to what I was doing was all that I could see, and it's like you can really only see as far as you can see. Mm-hmm. So I ended up just seeing something different. You know what I'm saying? And that led me into personal development, got people playing at a higher level. And it just like transformed my life once you see something different and you see different possibilities.
Fantastic, man. Well, if you're new to the show like you are, so Marquel and I work with Marquel with Client Attraction University. So he's always, hey man, you have 100 episodes. Like, what, am I not good enough for your shows? I said, no, I am saving you just for Customer Experience Week. If you're not aware, this is Customer Experience Week. October 4th through the 8th is Customer Experience Week. And I'm like, okay, I need you for Customer Experience Week because although I teach customer service, you enlighten me on the difference between customer experience and customer obsession. So this concept of customer obsession, my viewers always hear me talk about it. But ladies and gentlemen, I learned it from this brother here, customer obsession. Now, before we get into customer obsession, you made a comment one time. You said the like in the know, trust, and like factors is really not that important. Elaborate on that for me, please.
So I think it's important for people to know you and trust you, but like you said, the like is because like a lot of times people spend so much time trying to be liked, especially like in a sales environment, right? They spend so much trying to be liked and they're jumping through hoops for different things and trying to make a sale. When really, if people know you, because liking you is a long-term kind of play, right? But it's really more so knowing you, like knowing who you are and what you do, and then being able to trust you, that you're a trusted person that you're actually going to deliver. Because like how many times have we like done business with people who we not necessarily liked, but we knew them and we trust them. And people do business at a really high level all the time. They know the person and they trust the person at some level. They don't necessarily like them, but they do business with them at the same time. So a lot of times people spend a lot of time trying to be liked, trying to be everything for everybody, all the different type of stuff, with the hopes of them liking them. But in reality, if they just build that trust foundation and that foundation, and they engage with them over time, they'll be like, you know what? I actually do kind of like this person.
Yeah, actually, like it's almost like in any relationship, even if it's an intimate relationship, we talk about before we can talk about love is respect, and that trust is respect is built on trust. Like, hey, I respect you because you're consistent. I know the bill is going to get paid. I know the mortgage is going to get paid. I know you're going to pick up the baby. So, okay, you know what? That trust is there. We can build a relationship on that.
Bingo, exactly.
All right, let me ask you this. In regards to the onboarding process for businesses, what needs to be in place or what should be in place for the onboarding process to be successful as well? Always keeping in mind creating an awesome customer experience because that customer is new to the program.
So a lot of times people totally drop the ball on the onboarding process, right? Because most people focus on marketing and sales, like getting clients. And of course, we client attraction. That's our thing. However, we make sure we talk to our clients about the delivery as well. So like delivery and fulfillment is part of the marketing process. Delivery and fulfillment is even a marketing function, right? Most people don't think that. They think it's something separate, but customer service and delivery and fulfillment is also marketing, because when you have an amazing experience, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to post about it on social media. You're going to tell other people about it. So now you got a team of ambassadors who are out, singing your praises as well, because of this amazing experience they had. So that, or what they got in the mail so like, for example, our clients, we send out a box and they love the box. Now they post it on social media, they share it with people, they keep it forever, kind of like Apple. It's like with Apple products, like how many people listening right now have Apple products? You've used the product, but you still got the box. Like the box is still in your office, right? So it's like, right, you see what I'm saying? You still got the box because it's like the experience, like the excitement of opening the box. People even do unboxing videos. So that's all a part of the experience. So people got to understand, like, hey, once somebody pays you, that's just the beginning. The fulfillment and what happens from there and beyond. So it's this book called Customers for Life, if I'm not mistaken. And then basically the brother talks about if you can wow a customer within 21 in the first 21 days, you got them for life.
Nice. I read an article from Apple. There is someone who's hired just to perfect the unboxing experience. Like there's someone who literally takes into account what it sounds like when you do. Like there's someone, that's his job. I unbox the iPhone and make it memorable.
Just think about that look, like with the Apple products, right? It's a little tab that's hanging off of it that helps you peel the plastic off. Like somebody had to put thought, because most people is just wrap. You got to get in there, you got to go get a knife, you got to cut into it, or you got to find a pen to poke it and slit that. But when you poke it with a pen, now you poke the box, now you've messed the box up. But now somebody was like, what if we just put a slit right here, kind of a tab, where you can pull that tab and make it even easier to open. And they deliberately think through making sure their devices are charged, because Apple wants you to be able to use the devices immediately. So when you take your phone out the box, they want it to be already fully charged. When you take the laptop out the box, they want it to be already fully charged. The iPad, because they want you to be able to immediately dive into the experience and tell other people about it. But if you got to charge it for 2 hours before you can use it, now you're like, oh my God.
And even going deeper with that, Apple, when they started moving, of course, going deep into when Steve Jobs returned and started taking the world. Okay, we're going to go forward with this with the computers. The computers a lot of people are too young to even remember this, but Windows computers didn't come with the operating system installed. You had to buy a computer. See, he's like, I don't even remember that. Like, you had to buy a computer and then had to buy Windows 95 or 90. It came on a CD. It was called a CD-ROM back then. But Apple came in and said, like, you buy the computer, you can use it immediately. The operating system is already included.
Yep, 100%.
Excellent. Now, here at this show, we believe in the concept of hiring for will and not for skill. All of my followers understand that. Hiring for will and not for skill. And what that means is pretty much someone who has the right mentality, who blends well with the culture. Yep. We're quicker to hire that person than someone who has the best resume but doesn't fit well with the culture, who's stuck up and be like, okay, you people, do you subscribe to that philosophy?
Yeah, absolutely. We have the same exact philosophy, actually. So we say we hire based on aptitude, we hire on attitude, not aptitude, because you can train aptitude, right? Mm-hmm. Like skill, but you can't train attitude. So we hire on culture fit first. Like if somebody can be well skilled, check off all the boxes, have the crazy resume, but if they're not a culture fit and they don't have the right attitude, it's a no for sure.
Now, is this the same as hiring employees who have batteries included, or is this a different concept?
So it's a different concept because a lot of times you can't really tell if somebody has batteries included until they get started, right? Because somebody can interview really well, right? They can have an impressive resume, but you can't really tell if the person has batteries included until they actually get started, and you can kind of see their action. It's kind of like somebody coming to the tryouts for basketball, and they're talking about they're dope. They've been playing since they were kids, blah, blah, this. They've been on AAU and all that. But you really can't tell how they can ball until they get on the court.
Exactly. So, I mean, like there are a lot of people that pretty much perfect the interviewing. 100%. All they do is they do interviews well.
They read all the interview books. They read how to get people to like you and how to win friends and, all that different type of stuff. So they interview well. They show up nice, looking nice, all that. But like when you see them on the court, you're like, now this person ain't going to be a fit.
Nice. I know one of the belief systems at Client, or one of the philosophies at Client Attraction University is that having a brain freeze here, that you teach individuals that to niche down on their ideal avatar, the ideal client. What do you say to someone who says, hey, I serve everyone. My clients are everyone. I don't have an ideal client. What do you say to someone like that?
I think no disrespect, but that's somebody I can immediately tell who doesn't really understand business. They don't understand business, they don't understand marketing, and they don't understand people, right? Anything that's for everybody is for nobody. Mm-hmm. Right? Anything that's for everybody is for nobody. Even Walmart isn't for everybody.
Exactly.
Right? Walmart is only for people who want to save money. It's people like myself who hate Walmart. I only go to Walmart as a last resort. If that's like the last objective, I do not like Walmart. And I know a lot of people who don't like Walmart. Walmart has a specific audience. Chick-fil-A, they have a specific. You're not going to see a Chick-fil-A everywhere.
Nope.
Apple. You're not going to see an Apple. Like we got here in Atlanta, we got Greenbrier Mall. You're not going to see an Apple store in Greenbrier Mall.
No.
You're not going to see an Apple store, as far as I know, in Southwest DeKalb. Right? Because you're going to see it in different malls. You're going to see it based on their particular. Burger King, they set up stores based on what McDonald's set up. Mm-hmm. Right? They typically set up like right across the street. So it's like every business on a high level has their target audience in mind. So an entrepreneur business owner who tells me they don't have a target business or target business or something in mind, I mean, you can pretty much guess their income within a few dollars.
So, but why is that important? Why is it important to be crystal clear on who you serve?
Because when you're creating marketing messaging, you're speaking to an audience of one, right? So what I mean by audience of one is this one target audience, right? With this one ideal, every piece of marketing you're speaking to one person in terms of not even their ages and stuff like that. That stuff is cool, but it's more so the psychographics. So you got demographics, which is like age, gender, that type of stuff. But then you got your psychographics, which is like how they think. What are the top 10 frustrations and challenges? What are their top 10 aspirations and desires? What is this? What is that? What is this? Right? So now when you create a marketing, you're speaking to this type of person, right? This person, but you're speaking to thousands or even millions of that specific person. So you got to niche that down. So if you think about some of the best marketing you'll ever see is infomercials. So some people hate infomercials. I love infomercials. So when they say, have you ever blah 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 blah? Have you been sitting up at late at night, sitting on the end of the bed, eating ice cream, but you still crave to get in your ideal shape? They're speaking to one person. However, they're speaking to millions of people at the same time. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Thank you for sharing those gems. If you guys are just tuning in, you guys on Instagram, you want to go over to YouTube or Facebook because we have a special guest. If you want to hear from the special guest, Mr. Marquel Russell himself, the co-founder of Client Attraction University. So head over to Wes Walters on YouTube or Wes Walters Associates here on Facebook. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Mr. Marquel. What do you say to I heard you made a comment. You said that selling someone something that they don't need is operating out of integrity. Elaborate on that for me, please.
So I think that the object of selling somebody something is to solve a problem, right? That's the ultimate goal, to solve a problem. So a lot of times people like lower their prices. A lot of people like say, okay, I'm gonna sell them this because they can't afford that. Anytime you sell somebody something that's not in their best interest, you're out of integrity, right? Because that's the goal. You don't want to sell people something that you want to sell them. You want to sell them something that they already want to buy. They already have a desire to buy this thing. Right now, you show up with it and you show them that their desire is taken care of by buying your thing. If you're trying to just sell them something that's not in their best interest, you're out of integrity because you're not in alignment with actually solving people's problems. And if you want to make money, all you got to do is focus on solving problems. So the time you spent trying to convince this one person to buy something that they don't need, you could actually been investing that, speaking to somebody or marketing to somebody who actually requires the service you want. So now it's not just a cash grab.
Awesome. Now, staying on the topic of selling, Client Attraction University preaches and believes in high ticket. Now, for a lot of individuals, especially African Americans, this literally is 180 degrees in the opposite direction because a lot of people associate Black businesses with subpar performance, subpar quality. Even if you go back to Blaxploitation films, like compared to what original Hollywood films were, they were a little less on quality because of the budget. Now, why is high ticket so important, and why did you, when you started Client Attraction University, go after the high ticket market?
Yeah, because when you focus on selling premium price offers, right, and you serve a premium price market, because there's a premium price market, right? There's people who want the cheap stuff like Walmart, and then you got a premium price market who fly first class. They shop at Neiman Marcus or Target. That's a more premium department store. Or they always want the best. They go VIP if there is. So it's this a premium value market. So when you offer premium price services, you're going to attract higher quality clients. You're going to help more people get results because they're going to engage with the product. And then, of course, your pricing is connected to your brand. So that's important as well. So if people see you always selling the cheap stuff, they automatically tie you to the cheap person. And they know that the cheap person isn't the best, and they know the best isn't going to be the cheap. So it really just depends on like, how do you want to position yourself in the market? I just found that people who pay you the least want the most. Right.
That's a gem, right? That's a gem of the day right there.
Yeah, people who pay you the least want you the most. They want you to validate and prove to them why you've charged them $200 to change their life, right? But somebody who pays you $20,000, crazy enough, they don't have to see you like that, which is very fascinating. So that's why we do that, because, and not only that, it's not just to your benefit as a business owner, but you can also hire more people. Most people they stay solopreneurs because they don't charge enough to have enough margin to hire any help. So now they just become solopreneurs and they end up just owning a job versus actually owning the business because they can't even afford to hire because they don't charge enough. They don't charge enough to advertise. They don't charge enough to hire. They don't charge enough to create any room for them to enjoy their business. They don't create any room for them to go on vacation because it stops at them because they can't afford to hire nobody.
Excellent. Yesterday we had an outage on the major platforms, of course, the big purple blue elephant, Facebook, and its supporting apps, Instagram and WhatsApp. Now, in the past, I've heard you made the comment, you said social media is a new gold rush. And of course, the critics had a field day yesterday. So much for this gold rush. Oh, everything is down. Is social media still the gold rush? And do you still believe that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because think about it. Like, social media it's not perfect. We're still dealing with technology, right? So what piece of technology hasn't never had an issue. And it's always stuff that's going on behind the scenes as well. But social media is not going anywhere. Like everybody's on social media. If it's not, let's just say Facebook and Instagram would have went away yesterday.
Yeah.
There would have been others. It would have been a great emergence, if that's the word, to another platform. Everybody would have figured out, okay, how do we get on TikTok, or how do we LinkedIn, or how do we or somebody else would have came out with a new one. But everybody is on social media in some capacity.
Excellent, man. Again, if you guys on Instagram, you want to go over to YouTube and Facebook and watch it, because I have a special guest. Mr. Marquel Russell is in the building, the co-founder of Client Attraction University. Head over to YouTube at Wes Walters or Facebook at Wes Walters and Associates. Hey, Mr. Marquel, so we're going to transition into those solopreneurs becoming CEO minded and becoming business owners. What is the biggest, the biggest piece of advice for someone who has just been grinding, charging the minimum, not be able to hire staff? What do you recommend to them? The first piece of advice as they transition from being a solopreneur to being a business owner and a CEO?
I think the biggest thing is to understand. So like most people, when they shift into being a business owner, well, most people think they're a business owner as a solopreneur, first and foremost. The business has to run without you for you to actually have a business, right? The business has to run without you for it to be a business. Otherwise, you just own a job and you're the bottleneck. Whatever has to be done with you, you're the bottleneck there, right? So you want to be thinking about, okay, what do I do on a day-to-day basis? I would even suggest over the next 3 days, they do a time audit. So we do this with our 7-Figure Society mastermind clients. So these are clients who are doing 7 figures or more or on track to do 7 figures. So we had them do a time audit because we want to start removing them from the business as much as possible. So we said, okay, over the next 3 days, I would recommend everybody do this. Over the next 3 days, document everything you do from the beginning of the day all the way to the end of your workday. Document everything, minute by minute by minute. It'll be mundane, but it'll be very insightful. Then you want to start turning everything that you do in the business into a process, a standard operating procedure, SOP. You can put it in the Google Doc. So here's how you send out emails. Step number 1, I do this. Step number 2, I do this. Step number 3, I do this. Step number 4, I do this. I upload a video. Step number 1, I do this. Step number 2, this. Step number 3, step number 4. When I go live on StreamYard, I go step number 1, step number 2, and you're documenting that. Why is that important? Because now you can hire somebody. Typically, your first hire is going to be an assistant or a VA if you don't have one already. But most people hire a VA and they fire them because they feel like the VA isn't doing a good job, but they never really properly train the VA. When we work with leaders of companies, they always blame the employee or the team member. But 99% of the time, we found that it's a leadership and it's a lack of training issue, not an employee or team member issue. So you start documenting that stuff. So now when you hire somebody, they come in and they know exactly what to be done. Not only what needs to be done, but they also know like how to do it. So now you don't got to micromanage them.
Nice. Now, as this person makes this transition into being a CEO, of course, mindset is important because you can have this title, but if your mindset is the same as an employee, then you do nothing at being at the helm of the organization. What are some of the things or some of the books they should read to, I guess, get their mindset ready for CEO compared to versus employee?
Right. So one book I would recommend is The Road Less Stupid. It's by Keith Cunningham. That's a really good one. I recommend High Output Management by Andy Grove. He basically talked. One of the biggest things I got from that was because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, as solopreneurs, the output is based on us. But as a CEO or a manager, the output of the team is the output of the CEO. The output of the team is the output of the leader, right? So it's not so much a focus on your individual output. It's like, how do you optimize and increase the output as the team team as a whole? So I would say those 2 books, and I would probably say also The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team is a great one also.
Excellent. One of my philosophies here at CX in the Morning and is take care of the employees who will take care of the customers who will take care of the business's bottom line. Do you subscribe to that philosophy?
So you said take care of the employees
who will take care of the customers who will take care of the customers, the company's future.
So yeah, I do. So just to kind of piggyback on it, although of course, you already know we don't really do employees. We don't
Mhm.
hire employees, right? So we have a different philosophy. So we don't want to hire people who come and look at this as a job, working with us as a job. We
Mhm.
want to bring on people who see this as a mission, and they see themselves as part of the mission, and they see the bigger vision, and they see themselves being able to accomplish their vision inside of their vision, right? So our folks, so we lead from the standpoint of this is a team. We're building a championship team. Our goal is the championship. This is what the championship looks like, and here's your role in the championship based on what their particular role is. And they see themselves as a team. They see themselves as a shareholder in the company. So now when they see themselves as a shareholder, which they are, and it's not
Mhm.
just like an illusion, they see themselves as a shareholder, as a team member. I believe that they approach it differently than how they've approached a typical job. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. Now in regards to man, this guy's right up my alley. In regards to transparency to the shareholders, is that something that you guys subscribe to as well? In regards to, hey, you have the capability of making as much as the company makes more money, you make more money.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so one of our 10 principles is full transparency, right? Radical candor. So we're very upfront. So we started this thing called the CEO update like a month or two ago. And I'm like, let them know, okay, here's where our goals, here's what we fell short, here's what we accomplished. So let them know everything that's going on, because the more your team knows about what's going on, the more comfortable they are in like being all in, right? And
Mhm.
locking in and really making the commitment. So it's just like you having structure in your company creates comfort for your team as well. Because if it's constant chaos in the company, they don't know how long it's going to be around. So
Mhm.
they don't know if they can depend on this revenue stream to take care of their family. But if they see that you have structure, they see that you have a clear vision, they see that you're moving in the right direction, you're transparent about the numbers and what's going on, and is the business going backwards, is the business going forward, and you being transparent about that, it creates more buy-in and more commitment, because they say, okay, I can really commit to this, and this is a long-term game.
Excellent, excellent. As this solopreneur transition into CEO, um, what is the danger of being a Mac of all trades?
I think the danger is you don't specialize, right? So the goal is mastery, right? So a lot of times people like to learn a whole bunch of stuff just for the sake of learning. But really the goal of learning is to master something, right? And the goal of mastering something is to like mastery stack. So you want to figure out, okay, what's my main thing that I'm focused on? Because when you think about your company, 90% of the results you bring is going to be based on 10% of your output. So it's really not so much that you got to learn as the CEO. There are some skills to develop, but at the CEO level, you're building a team around you that are masters at what they do,
Mhm.
right? So now, if you want to learn other stuff, like take on some other hobbies, like right, go golf or go tennis or whatever your thing is, but don't try to think of new stuff to like break the business, because the entrepreneurial mind, I always tell people like a well-run business is a boring business. A
Mm.
lot of times when you start removing yourself from stuff, you're bored at some points in the day, and then the entrepreneurial mind will find something to break in the business just so we can fix it, versus being like, you know what, I built this to create some free time. I should be bored. Let me go golf, or let me go knit, or let me go binge watch a show, or whatever, go to the gym. Whatever your thing is, it's supposed to get to the point where you're at, and you're not always hustling and grinding. But if we come from the hustle and grind mentality as a solopreneur and a self entrepreneur, we're all about the hustle and grind, and we got to be grinding from sun up to sundown. And that's what the culture tells us as well. Like, be hustling and grinding, sleep when you're dead, all the different type of stuff. But that's not how you build a company. It's not sustainable.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much you have most entrepreneurs subscribing to that. Like, yo, sleep is. I don't want to say, but sleep when you die, when you're
Right, right.
dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, your sleep is the cousin of death. Like, I can sleep when I'm dead. Hustle, 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 grind, 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 grind. And
Yep.
then you have hypertension, and so you took all this time. I saw a meme and said you take all this time making all the money, and now you got to use all that money to rectify your health.
Yep, 100%, 100%, 100%. Because like again, it's like if you really look at it, you really only want to get to a point where it's really 2 or 3 things as a business owner, CEO, that really moves the needle for you. For me, for the company, right? And then you build a team of individuals who specialize in certain things, and everybody does their own thing. You stay out each other's way, and then voila.
So these are the 8 tasks that only the CEO can do. Everything else should be delegated to the rest of the team, correct?
100%.
Got
And then
it.
some of that stuff that's delegated from you becomes a task from other people on the team. What would have been a C or B task for you would be an A task for somebody else on the team.
Nice. If you guys are just tuning in, I'm here with the co-founder of Client Attraction University, Mr. Marco Russell. Hey, Mr. Marco, man, I just want to let you know I really enjoyed this time with you, man. And at this point, we're just going to do some rapid fires just so that the viewers can get to know a little more about who Mr. Marco is. All right?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. Workout in the morning and at night.
Morning.
Outcast or DPG, Dog Pound Gangster?
Outcast, bro.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Beach or pool?
Beach. I'm by the beach right now, which is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, stunning on him. Batman or Superman?
Batman, who's rich.
And one last question. What is the essence of Marquell Russell?
The essence of Marquell Russell. Man, that's a good question. The essence of Marquell Russell, I would say freedom. Freedom and authenticity. Man, I love freedom. My highest value above anything is freedom.
Man, Mr. Brother, I really appreciate you. Hey, this was great. I want to have you. I'm getting a verbal commitment right now. I want to have you back annually every Customer Experience Week. We want to have you back here next October for Customer Experience Week.
It's my birthday month. It's my birthday month too. So let's get birthday behavior.
Libra gang to the world.
100%.
Brother, thank you so much for your time. And it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure having you here. And I can't wait to see you in about 30 minutes.
Absolutely, bro. Appreciate you so much, man.
Take care. Peace.
Peace.